Breaking news this morning, police are investigating a deadly shooting in Southeast Portland. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchik. We've learned that one person has died after that shooting along Southeast 134th Avenue. Our Libby Dowsett is at the scene with what we know so far.
A long morning for people living on Southeast Herald between 130th and 136th, where police blocked off the entire area this morning. We are in the Powellhurst-Gilbert neighborhood east of 205, north of Foster Road. The initial call came in just after 2:30 this morning for someone not breathing. Police say when first responders arrived, paramedics found the victim with gunshot wounds. Police say crews made every effort to save the victim with no luck. That person died here in this area this morning near 134th. Grief counselors responded. Also, a lot of law enforcement vehicles arrived and left all morning. This is an area with a lot of homes. Again, 134th and Herald, where this all unfolded. Police are also asking anyone who saw something, heard something this morning in this area to contact their detectives unit. In Southeast Portland, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Your time now is 8:01. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather.
Yeah, we're watching areas to the south. Go ahead and take a look at the radar. Temperatures are frosty cold this morning in more spots than not. And we're in the 20s to about 30 from Eugene to Albany up into Salem. And radar in the salmon color, potential light icing. And this includes coming into McMinnville, where it's also at freezing in Yamhill County. So I can't find anybody that's really reporting measurable rainfall. I've been checking all the observations, but there could be some light icing for you folks, FYI. Here are clouds over Salem, where it has been a cold, frosty start. 28 is the current temperature. Portland's at 36 out at the airport, but a lot of our metro area also has been frosty this morning. Maybe a trace of rain up here in the North Valley. Generally, it's a dry day, 43 at noon, 46 degrees at 5 p.m. And again, temperature statewide will be generally in the 40s, except for the coast. It'll be a little bit warmer this afternoon. Here's Chris.
Rod, back out to Northeast Portland. Northbound, Northeast 82nd Avenue remains closed at this point between Alderwood and Columbia Boulevard. Southbound lanes have reopened. You can see Portland police still have their cars there blocking the area as they wrap up their investigation. We are working to get more details on this, and we hope to hear from them shortly. But in the meantime, your freeway drive getting busier over on the west side. This is a live look at the sunset near the Sylvan Hill. We're starting to ride the brakes pretty hard now from there down into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. I-5 through North Portland. That southbound commute about 25 miles an hour now. You can see between Rosa Parks and the Fremont Bridge. As we look at some of your drive times, they're starting to inch up just a little bit. 25 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough. 18 minutes now westbound. I-84, that's from Troutdale to downtown. China?
Thank you, Chris. Developing this morning, questions and outrage growing after federal agents shot another person in Minneapolis. Saturday, agents shot and killed Alex Preddy, who appeared to be taking video of an immigration arrest.
As more videos of the shooting emerge, many are questioning the Trump administration's story about what really happened. NBC's Alice Barr reports from Washington, D.C.
This morning, a growing outcry over the shooting death of 37-year-old Alex Preddy by federal law enforcement in Minneapolis, the city's second involving federal law enforcement this month. As protesters react to the multiple videos capturing the scene, the Trump administration is defending the officers. The Department of Homeland Security posting that Preddy, quote, approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
When they tried to get him to disengage, he became aggressive and resisted them throughout that process. These officers used their training, followed their protocols, and were in fear of their lives.
The videos, shot from various angles, show federal agents shoving someone before Preddy steps in. Preddy is then pepper sprayed in the face by an officer while holding his phone and is then wrestled to the ground. DHS said he brandished a weapon, but the videos don't appear to show that. This one does show an agent appearing to remove a gun from Preddy's back waistband seconds before the shots are fired. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar among elected officials rejecting the Trump administration's description of the scene.
I just keep thinking, your eyes don't lie.
Local officials say Preddy had a permit to carry, and groups like the Gun Owners of America are defending his right to bear arms while protesting. Preddy was an ICU nurse for a Minneapolis VA hospital, his parents calling him kind-hearted and deeply caring.
He loved this country, but he hated what people were doing to it.
President Trump overnight demanding state and local officials cooperate with his administration's deportation efforts as those officials call on ICE to leave the state. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And taking a live look at the Capitol building now, because the chances of a partial federal government shutdown are growing. This comes after congressional Democrats announced that they would not support a Department of Homeland Security spending bill unless it includes changes that impose conditions on immigration enforcement operations.
And that shooting also sparked local protests. Last night, a candlelight vigil was held in Forest Grove. The group behind this vigil, Indivisible Forest Grove, says the event was meant to build solidarity within the local community even after the shooting happened in a different state.
Alex Priddy died defending another woman as she was being brutalized by ICE. Renee Good died because she was defending her neighborhood against ICE. Over and over, the government is telling us, these are our enemies, these are domestic terrorists. We are not domestic terrorists. We just care about our neighbors.
And on Saturday, hundreds showed up at Portland's South Waterfront neighborhood for a rally and then eventual march to the ICE building, where the crowd only grew. Portland police ended up arresting 4 people Saturday night. The charges of the 4 arrested range from disorderly conduct to attempted assault. One person is accused of throwing glass candles at federal officers. No arrests at the ICE building last night. And stay with KGW as we continue to cover the fallout from the Minneapolis ICE shooting. Ahead at 8:30, we will hear from local leaders reacting to that shooting. With the increased presence of federal agents in the region, Vancouver police say that they are seeing an uptick of community members interfering with their officers, thinking that they may be part of immigration enforcement. So Police Chief Troy Price wants to make sure that you can recognize Vancouver police specialty units like SWAT and crime reduction. He says there have been examples of federal agents wearing similar uniforms, but that the local police department doesn't take part in immigration enforcement.
People can record all day, and that's fine, but actually injecting themselves into the situation becomes problematic, and actually it's quite dangerous.
The chief tells us that the units will wear a patch identifying them as Vancouver police on either the front, back, or shoulder of their uniform.
Let's head over to Rod now for a look at your forecast, Rod.
Hey, all of a sudden I'm spending all of my time keeping track of what's going on down McMinnville, Salem, and especially down into Albany. This is where we've got a surge of some light showers pushing inland. Can't find anybody that says they have more than a trace of moisture, but radar's indicating this could be light freezing rain. If you look at the temperatures in Philomath, Corvallis, Albany, up into McMinnville and Monmouth, they are still below freezing. So some potential light icing going on down here. Up to the north, we've been dry, and Portland has got breaks in the cloud cover. Temperatures are cold again this morning, 25 in Battleground. Downtown Portland just above freezing at 33. Wilsonville's at 28. And again, here are these colder temperatures. We have light moisture. Corvallis 28, Albany 29, potential light freezing rain. This afternoon should be mainly dry, partly to mostly cloudy skies. 50s at the coast, 40s up and down I-5. About the same in Central Oregon. Over the weekend, it was Saturday that all those low cloud lockdown areas finally went away and cleared. So some some sunshine mixed with cloudiness in Sun River later today, 44. The Dalles about 38. We do have east winds to 25 coming out of the West Gorge. We'll be up to 48. Portland, mainly dry. Shower chances pick up tomorrow afternoon into the night. And then from that point on, every 24-hour period has a good chance of getting at least some measurable rain. And starting Wednesday, overnight lows will be well above freezing at 40 or better. Here's Chris McGinnis.
All right, Rod, thanks for that. Let's pick it up over on the east side. Photojournalist Chad DeHart looks like he's closing up shop here. I can tell you, and with some good news here, that 82nd Avenue, this closure, which has been there for some time now, has just wrapped up. So 82nd Avenue now is good to go. Wide open between Columbia Boulevard and Northeast Alderwood Road. All right, back to the Freeway Drive, inbound Sunset, of course, slow and steady at the Sylvan Hill. The eastbound commuters, of course, you're staring at that rising sun. So obviously that's going to add a few minutes to your drive coming in from Hillsborough. 24 minutes now from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. Hey, reminder, by the way, overnight tonight, Oregon City and West Lynn, your I-205 Abernathy Bridge will be closed for about 6 hours from 11 to 5 as ODOT continues that sign bridge installation. Detours, of course, include 99E, Highway 43, I-5. Matthew, local traffic, of course, can use the Arch Bridge. Back to you.
Chris, thank you. Well, it all came down to last night's NFC Championship game for the Seahawks against the Rams. It was a close one, but the Seahawks managed to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl after a 31-27 win over LA. This will be the Seahawks' fourth trip to the Super Bowl and their first in 11 years. And for those who didn't watch the game in person, fans packed the Vancouver Convention Center for a watch party organized by the Southwest Washington Hawkers Boosters Club.
Group is season ticket holders, so they are up in Seattle. They're at the game. But for the away games, this place is packed. Home games like this one and even Super Bowl, it'll be even more packed. But no, it's a great thing, and it's good for the community to have a spot to watch the game together.
And it's safe to say that Seahawks fans at other local watch parties were pretty excited.
This means everything to Seattle. You see everybody here in this bar. I mean, look around, go outside, listen to the noise.
Patriots, we're gonna see you in the ball, bro. Patriots, we're gonna see you at the Super Bowl.
It'll be a rematch of Super Bowl 49 between the Seahawks and Patriots. Seahawks hoping for a different outcome. And earlier, the early line has Seattle as 4-point favorite. Super Bowl 60, February 8th at 3:30 in Santa Clara, California.
Well, the cold weather across the country is creating a rare phenomenon in trees that has the internet thinking they're exploding. But are they actually? We'll break it down after the break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Oh my God, okay. That's what she was talking about.
That was, yeah.
My producer goes, jump scare warning. Okay, now it makes sense.
Oh my
So you might have seen videos like that of trees seemingly just exploding because of the extreme cold weather, but are they really?
Sounded like a shotgun. Tree experts say it can happen, but it's rare. And while it may sound like an explosion, the wood is just separating, creating a frost crack.
The wood on the outside is getting colder than the inside. It's creating a bunch of pressure on the inside, and that tree has to release that pressure, which creates the crack in the wood. It'll make a gunshot sound when it cracks. It'll sound. You'll hear it, but it's not gonna like blow up and shrapnel all over you and fall immediately.
That's good news. At least it wasn't just us. Heavy snow or extra ice on branches also contributes to the loud cracking sound and explosive look to frost cracking. Meanwhile, snow and ice are falling across much of the U.S. from Texas to the Northeast. Hundreds of thousands of people are without power amid extreme cold temperatures. Lee Waldman is in New York City with the latest on the storm.
Now that the sun is up, sanitation workers are still working to clear the roads here in New York City. You can see they've pushed the snow off of the streets so drivers can make their way. People are coming into Central Park to enjoy the snow that has fallen. We've shattered a record. More than 11 inches of snow have fallen here just on Sunday. We're expecting more today.
A monster winter storm is making its way across the U.S., battering 2/3 of the U.S. population with snow, ice, and brutally cold temperatures.
Wild, 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 wild. I haven't seen snow like this in years. Completely frozen. What the heck?
Schools have been canceled or moved to remote learning, and flight disruptions have continued to climb, with Sunday marking the most cancellations since the COVID-19 pandemic. Ice coating trees and power lines in the south is damaging on its own, but the wind is adding an extra danger. Widespread power outages in the Nashville metropolitan area could last for days, according to the electric utility Nashville Electrical Service. In Louisiana, people are riding out the storm in warming centers after officials confirmed 2 men died from hypothermia. Up north in New York City, Mayor Zohran Mamdani says there are thousands of sanitation workers out on city streets, and plows have started to clear roadways.
We really encourage you to stay home. Staying home is the safest thing you can do. It's the best thing for our city workers.
At least 20 states have declared a state of emergency in response to the historic winter storm, and many will experience its lingering effects for days and even weeks as the cold temperatures stick around.
Central Park has been very busy. We have a plow coming by now, but dogs, people enjoying the snow. Snowy here. She's holding our thermometer, and you can see it's below freezing temperature. Those feels like temperatures, though, they're in the single digits. In Central Park, I'm Lee Waldman.
And the winter weather also impacting travelers here locally as some flights have been delayed or canceled at PDX this morning. FlightAware shows 4,000 flights have been canceled today nationwide, including 36 delays and 3 canceled flights coming into PDX and more canceled or delayed departures.
Rod.
Wow, cold. You mentioned the Columbus record, the snow record.
Yeah, so one of the meteorologists said they're an inch away from breaking an all-time snowfall record for a winter, which they've been tracking since the 1800s. So
total amount for
the whole season. Yeah.
You said that's a record.
It's been brutal.
So that's noteworthy. A lot of times you hear these reports and they're talking about records are shattered, but understand if you're talking about a daily precip record, it doesn't take much to break that more often than not, because you just don't get 12-inch snowstorms that often. Right. So a lot of daily records are actually like that, and the storm is like that, and then it shatters that record. The cold is still the cold is still hanging on. The active precip part of this storm, with the exception of snow showers in New England, New York State, is pretty much over. But the cold is not going to flush out in many areas today. These are current temperatures. It was below freezing all the way down in Brownsville. New Orleans still below. Atlanta still below. Dallas at 21. 1 now in Des Moines. It was below freezing. Chicago was 0. They're now at 2. 7 below Minneapolis. This was a very cold Arctic chute. And real quick, I don't want to run out of time, but one of the bullet points of climate scientists when they started talking about a warming climate and the changes that would bring is that it would break down the jet stream gradients up across the northern part of our hemisphere, and that would allow these cold air chutes to come down into our country from the north more often and penetrate farther to the south. Here's a good example of that. All the way off of the Gulf Coast, we had freezing temps. Only Florida escaped from this. Oh my, Miami's at 82 degrees right now. Whoa! All right, what are we looking at? We're dry in Portland, but we're seeing the surge of light precip down to the south. Newport's had some light rain up into Lincoln City. And where you see the pink or salmon tones, this is the radar depicting what could be some very light freezing rain. This is light rain moving into areas that are still 27, 29, 30 degrees. I can't find anybody that's got more than just a trace of rain. I've been checking, but there could be icing on roadways in this area this morning. So just be very, very aware of that. Big cloud band offshore, that will bring our moisture picking up the back half of tomorrow into tomorrow night. For Portland, I think we have a chance of a trace of moisture. Futurecast really isn't doing a good job of picking up what's down to the south right now, but I think we won't see much here. Mainly a dry day with partly to mostly cloudy skies moving forward. Here is the rain the back half of tomorrow, and then waves of rain Tuesday overnight. More waves of rain coming in during the day Wednesday. So we're going to get back to a showery weather pattern. Futurecast models, I feel like these totals might be a little too high. They show a 1/2 inch to about 3/4 at the coast, and not quite a quarter to more than a quarter of an inch of rain all total. This is mostly what would come in the back half of tomorrow through the day Wednesday. Here's Depot Bay. This is an area the radar has shown some light rain. That's 101. That's downtown. The view from the Channel House. It looks like the pavement might barely be wet, but it looks pretty dry. There's a rising sun from the Vancouver The Springs at the waterfront camera. PDX is at 36, but still plenty of freezing numbers around, including Salem and including 25 out in the Dalles. We'll get up to about 48 today. Pretty good day overall. Shower chances pick up the back half of tomorrow, likely rain at times overnight into Wednesday, and then each day into Sunday will have at least some precip. And again, I think this is huge. Starting Wednesday, the low is 40. No more stepping outside and going, oh, good grief, it's cold. That's going to end midweek. All right, here's Chris.
You know what's really a bummer this whole week is I was having a really difficult time getting the remote start to work and defrost the car.
Yeah.
So that was, okay, so now you tell me I don't need it anymore. That's good. All right, I-5 through North Portland. Looking better now. We had some congestion there a few minutes ago, but now we're zipping right along up near Lombard. We are as well down in the Tualatin area. Let me get my jaw working again. So far, really no major freeway trouble out there just yet. As we look at the drive times, 23 minutes get you in from Hillsborough. Yeah, this is definitely lighter than a typical Monday morning drive. 18 minutes in from Troutdale, 19 minutes from Wilsonville. So far, mostly so good on the freeways.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, one of the greatest downhill skiers is making her comeback this year. What she's set to prove at the Winter Olympics.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The countdown is on. Only 11 days to the Winter Olympics. Starting today, we'll introduce you to 10 athletes that we are excited to watch.
And at 41 years old, the greatest downhill skier of all time, making a comeback just for the chance to race on one of her favorite courses. Matt Renew has more on why Lindsey Vonn is proving that age is just a number.
Being back on snow and skiing fast with the U.S. ski team is something Lindsey Vonn is pretty happy about.
I do think that just shows how excited I am.
Vonn's made a career of winning ski races. She has 82 World Cup wins, 43 in the downhill, more than any male or female ever. She also has 3 Olympic medals. Then in 2019, Vonn retired from racing after dozens of crashes and comebacks caught up with her.
I retired because my body couldn't take it anymore, not because I personally wanted to end my career.
And while she kept herself busy, Vonn missed the sport, especially the chance to race in Cortina at the 2026 Olympics.
You know, really hard to retire knowing that Cortina Olympics was coming, and I wouldn't be competing. But even so, I don't know if I would ever have imagined myself at 41 racing in the Olympics.
So she underwent surgery to repair her broken knee, and for the first time in years was pain-free.
It changed my life forever, and no matter what happens, my life is forever different because I was in so much pain before, and it really affected almost everything I did in my life. And now I can do whatever I set my mind to.
The spark was lit. Now at 41, Vaughn is back, racing and enjoying more time with her younger teammates.
It's not always that you mesh well with your teammates, and even though I'm twice as old as them, you know, we still get along great. I'm not doing as many TikTok videos as I think they would like.
But also offering her advice and expertise.
I feel like it's a privilege to be in this position. It's my responsibility to try to pass along as much knowledge as I can, because downhill is an accumulation of knowledge. You know, you learn so much by racing the same tracks over and over. So I know these hills.
And once again, doing what she loves. And Vaughn says what her late mom would have loved to see her do.
I had the opportunity to fight back. You know, my mom had a stroke when she had me, and she wasn't able to physically come back from that. And I felt like it's my responsibility to try my best and to do what I love to do, because she couldn't. And I feel that even more now that she's gone. You know, she would be so happy that I'm here following my heart and my dreams.
In Cortina, Italy, fulfilling a dream on a track she's won a dozen World Cup races.
Well, I think my age gives me a big advantage, actually. I've definitely been on that track more than anyone else that's in the starting gate.
And says no matter what, is just happy to go fast on one more run.
I'm privileged and lucky to be able to have the opportunity to say goodbye.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. Portland police are investigating a shooting in southeast Portland that left one person dead. The call came in around 2:30 a.m. for someone who wasn't breathing. When AMR got to the scene at southeast 134th and Harold Street, they found a person with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The Portland Police Homicide Unit is investigating the incident and are asking anyone with information to contact them. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
Yeah, good morning. Kind of depends on where you are in terms of your experience so far on this Monday. Portland's been dry. We've had some light showers hit the coast. And then we got this clump of light precip between Eugene and now nearing parts of Salem. And where you see the salmon tones here, That is radar saying, hey, this is rain moving into freezing ground temperatures and the potential for some light freezing rain. So take it easy and cautiously down that part of the valley. Up north, though, we're dry. You can see broken cloudiness, the rising sun from the Chehalem tasting room out in Sherwood. PDX is 36, but we do have a lot of frosty spots around. 43 at noon. I have us getting up to 48. Rain chances really get going later tomorrow into Wednesday.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8:30. I'm China Green. Who are you?
I'm Matthew Herchik. I've been here
Who is this guy?
3 days, right?
That's a fair question.
Yeah, if you haven't been watching, yeah.
We learned a lot about him earlier this morning. He's afraid of birds. He wanted to be either a priest or work at Burger King.
Yeah.
I like the 90s chicken tenders at Burger King.
That's what I'm saying.
Ron, I'm sorry, but I think they
were
trumped
incredible.
The
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
like,
they were.
When they
I'm
got
down
rid
with
of
that.
them, it was just like tragic.
So they changed these then. They were really good and they got rid of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds like a Burger King move.
Now to our resident McDonald's guy.
McDonald's in him. Yeah.
All right, here's our radar right here. We've got shower activity along the coast, and again, this is being reported by radar. And if you look at the ground temperatures, it makes sense. It's freezing from Salem down into Eugene, and that salmon color is the radar acknowledging that fact and saying, hey, this is probably light freezing rain. Again, I've checked all the reporting sites. I can't find anybody saying they have more than a trace of moisture, so I simply do not know if that's enough precip reaching the ground to cause some issues down there or not, but certainly be aware of it. From Salem northward, we've been mainly dry. There are the clouds over our capital and the cold 28 degrees where it has been frosty. Morning sun with a mix of clouds hitting downtown, 36 out at PDX. Our day moving forward, saying there could be a trace of moisture here in the North Valley. Otherwise, this will be a partly sunny, mostly cloudy day. Still relatively cool, 43 degrees at noon. I have us getting up to about 48 for a high. Temperatures, again, we're looking at Eugene 29, Salem 28, and that light precip down there. It's dry, but freezing out through the gorge this morning. And here's the 7-day forecast. 48 today. Big story here is starting tomorrow, the back half of tomorrow, as moisture starts to move in, every single day could have at least measurable precip. And with that new weather pattern, by the time we get to Wednesday morning, look at the low 40. And then no more cold, frosty starts the rest of the week. Snow levels, by the way, for the Cascades at times 4,000 feet, much of the time closer to 5. But we'll be checking past temperatures as moisture starts to pick up in the coming days. Chris?
So after 2.5 weeks of like a drop here and a drop there, we might actually get some rain. That's something. All right, the freeway drive this morning is not bad, but I've managed to zero in on some of the slow spots. There's I-5 near, well, actually, it's directly underneath the ramps to the Fremont Bridge. So we're looking at the southbound commute. Of course, drivers have got the sun glare to deal with there as well. Over on the east side of town, there's Interstate 84, the Banfield. That's a little tight coming in through the Hollywood district, but not bad. 21 minutes is the inbound Sunset Drive to get you in from Hillsborough to downtown. And last but not least, you're driving from Wilsonville. 22 minutes, that's northbound from Wilsonville Road to the Markham Bridge. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. And we continue to cover the fallout from the second deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis. The Department of Homeland Security says Alex Preddy threatened agents with a gun and they fired at the 37-year-old in self-defense. So far, no video has emerged showing Preddy pointing a weapon at agents.
Meantime, Preddy's friends and families are sharing stories about the person they knew. Uba Ali has more.
37-year-old Alex Preddy is remembered as a healer, caring for the sickest as an ICU nurse at the VA. His friend of 2 decades.
There are going to be times when I pick up the phone and I'm not going to be able to get a hold of him for sure.
Heather Zielinski is heartbroken, but she says helping people was who he was. And this moment captured tells the whole story. And why he died.
Absolutely, he was standing up for someone. Absolutely, he was standing up for that woman that he was trying to help up. He was trying to help her get out of that situation.
In a statement, his father told the Associated Press he cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE, as millions of other people are upset. He was born in Illinois and raised in Wisconsin. They say Preddy owned a handgun and had a permit to carry. Outside the hospital, an avid outdoorsman, biking and hiking, finding peace in nature.
He leaned into the things that he was passionate about, and that's one of the things that made him very successful.
In a statement, another neighbor said Alex had a dog who passed in the past year or so. She said, quote, "I remember how sweet it was that as his dog was more elderly, less mobile, he'd be willing to help carry him down to the yard to get some fresh air and to enjoy the outdoors. His dog would lay down and Alex would sit with him and pet him for long periods of time. He was very caring." Preddy lived to help others.
Could they have not killed my friend? Yeah, they could have not killed my friend. They did not need to kill my friend.
Tonight, others are standing up for him.
And Saturday's shooting in Minneapolis also has some local leaders calling on the Trump administration to pull back on the number of federal agents in Minnesota and work with the local government to de-escalate the situation. That includes Oregon Governor Tina Kotek, who is urging protesters here in Oregon to remain peaceful in the wake of the shooting.
It is important for not only Oregonians but Americans to make their voices heard. And here in Oregon, we have been doing that peacefully and consistently, and I suspect that will continue.
Meantime, leaders gathered over the weekend for a pre-planned roundtable about immigration enforcement to focus on what Oregon officials and the community are doing in response to increased immigration enforcement in the state. Lawmakers are working on a package of bills to continue addressing issues with federal agents at the state level. And we will continue to cover the Minneapolis ICE shooting throughout our show. Find us anytime on our streaming TV app here, KGW Plus, or on our website, kgw.com. Turning to the massive winter storm impacting 2/3 of the United States. Hundreds of thousands of people are still without power amid extreme cold temperatures.
At least 20 states have declared a state of emergency. In Nashville, officials say the widespread power outage could last for days. In Louisiana, people are riding out the storm in warming centers after officials confirmed 2 men died from hypothermia. And up in New York City, Mayor Zohran Mamdani says thousands of sanitation workers are out on city streets clearing the roadways.
We really encourage you to stay home. Staying home is the safest thing you can do. It's the best thing for our city workers.
FlightAware shows close to 5,000 flights have been canceled today nationwide.
Some local flights have also been canceled at PDX this morning. Our Libby Dowsett is live at Portland's airport with more on the cancellations and delays. Libby?
Well, we just checked right here behind me, and there is a cancellation out of Dallas-Fort Worth, and then 2 departing flights to Boston and Phoenix that are also canceled. Now, flyers are also watching this board behind me very closely, as other flights are showing up as delayed at this point. We are seeing delays for flights coming and going from Denver, Chicago, Houston. Same story, those stormy states and cities. And the stormy weather in the Northeast and South is leading to more than 4,400 flight delays and cancellations nationwide, and that's according to FlightAware.com, leading to a trickle-down effect here in the West. And then, of course, back here live, people are coming by this board to see the changes. We can tell you that the lineup at TSA's checkpoint is up to 15 minutes. So there's a lot of people here traveling today, just hoping one of their flights won't get delayed or canceled. Back to you.
All right, our Libby Dowsett reporting live. Thank you very much, Libby. Meanwhile, a local family is asking for the community's help after a drunk driver crashed into their living room early Saturday morning. The incident happened just around 2 a.m. when the driver left the roadway on the 10,000 block of East Burnside, slamming into the residence of Kayla and Amber Green. The Greens tell us as of Sunday afternoon, the car is still wedged in their home. Crews say it's been too dangerous to remove the car as it could damage the structural integrity of the house. Kayla Green described the aftermath of the crash.
Living room was a complete disaster. Everything in our living room had been thrown across the house. The wall was destroyed completely, TV about to fall off, all that.
And to make matters worse, both Amber and Kayla lost their jobs last week when the restaurant they were working at abruptly went out of business. The Greens will spend the next month living in a hotel while the damage is repaired.
Your time now is 8:39. A vigil was held over the weekend for a man shot and killed after a fight at a Vancouver bar.
Jay Coulter was there as family and friends celebrated the life of Corey Jones.
This car meet the centerpiece of Sunday's memorial for Corey Jones, as cars were one of his many passions.
He was an amazing man, super goofy, very caring.
On January 3rd, Corey Jones was shot and killed in the parking lot outside Off-Ramp Sports Bar in Vancouver. Jones was 43, leaving behind his wife of 18 years, 5 kids, a foster kid, and 2 grandkids, as well as many friends.
Beyond shocking. I would have never thought that he would have been in a position to be where he was.
Tiffany West, who has been close to the Jones family for almost 20 years, organized the car meetup as a memorial to Corey.
I've literally seen this man take his shirt off and give it to somebody else that needed it more. So we are mourning a very big loss.
Mark Stackhouse met Corey just last year.
I think he could get along with anybody. I mean, just the nicest guy. I mean, I liked him as soon as I met him.
Stackhouse, one of those who brought a car to the meetup.
And that's why he was a fixture out at Orchards Cars and Coffee. The guy was out there every Sunday.
Corey's widow spoke briefly at the vigil.
It really does mean a lot. Orchards Cars and Coffee and the car community is a big part of him, and I just really do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day to come and just celebrate him.
A celebration of life for Jones will be held Saturday the 31st at City Harvest Church. Jake Holter, KGW News.
Yeah, time for a look at the morning commute. Chris McGinnis keeping an eye on the roads for us this morning.
It's been relatively non-existent this morning, like very, very light freeway volume out there. So while I've got your attention, let me remind folks about this. Overnight tonight, the I-205 Abernathy Bridge will be closed between Oregon City and Westland. This is a full closure both directions as ODOT continues working on that overhead sign bridge installation. So from 11 to 5, that bridge will be a no-go. You can use 99E, Highway 43, I-5 as your workarounds. Of course, local traffic between Oregon City and Westland can also use the Arch Bridge. All right, the drive underneath the Fremont Bridge. This is I-5. Southbound traffic, little bunched up there, but not bad. 11 minutes getting in from Main Street to I-405. So you can see what I mean here. The drive times are generally really, really light this morning. Still, there are some slow spots. There's I-84 coming in through the Hollywood district, that westbound drive from Troutdale. Guys, at last check, that's averaging about 18 minutes.
All right, after the break, we are going one-on-one with Matthew Herchek, our new Sunrise anchor. This guy. We're talking college football, family, biggest fear.
Oh boy.
Anything you want to know about him when we get back.
Hey, our team tests a ton of products. You know how we do it. We try it before you buy it. And this one is going to be a game changer for you. It's been a game changer in my family. Someone in my family, my wife, she said I could say that, makes all these expensive hair removal appointments. But now with this, come on in. This is the YouLike Air Max IPL hair removal device. And I use the products that I bring to you myself. She's obsessed with this. It's affordable, it's painless, it's easy and effective. It's FDA cleared, and their patented ice cooling technology keeps your skin comfortable the whole time, never above 65 degrees. If you've ever dealt with ingrown hair, bumps, or irritation, let's be honest, who hasn't? This feels like a total reset. You can treat your whole body in about 14 minutes, that's it. And with consistent use, 3 times a week for 4 weeks, people see up to 95% reduction in hair, and it works just about everywhere on the body. Plus, you get 2 modes. Auto Glide for larger areas and USHR mode for coarse hair. Pain-free, hassle-free, and you're gonna save a ton of money. It is the trifecta, and when you hear the deal that we've gotten for you today, you know you gotta get it. So listen to this. Normally it's $299. Today, exclusive for you, just $199. Yeah, $100 off. You'll thank me later. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
In case you were just joining us and wondering who this random guy is that is sitting next to me in a suit and tie, this is my new co-anchor, Matthew Herchick.
They just pulled me in off the street. Somebody happened to have a suit and tie
Yes,
on me. So.
very tailored as well.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get to know him. Sure, you wanted to get to know him as well. So first thing, where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
So it's my hometown, but I also spent I was fortunate enough to work the last 5 years in this industry in my hometown. So yeah, coming from Columbus.
And is your family out there?
My family is still out there for the most part. I do have some family in like the South Florida area, Tampa, St. Pete, but yeah, most of my family, there's my mom's sister and my brother-in-law and me. That was on Christmas. That was us at a wedding. But yeah,
and you
they're mostly still in Columbus.
You have a dad, right?
I was going to say, I do have a dad. He's been texting me. He's like, wait, why didn't any of my pictures make the air? I said, I think most of it's probably because most of the pictures I sent were us at Ohio State games, and maybe they didn't want to throw it in the Ducks fans' faces.
No, not here. Okay, and then you have a fear. You have two fears, which are?
We were just talking about it during the break with our director. One of my fears is birds. I had a bad experience with a bird dive bombing me on a golf course one time. I'm also terrified of heights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heights.
Yeah.
And sports.
Sports. Big sports fan. I played just about every sport growing up.
Okay.
I watched most of them. I'm a big Ohio State fan. Also, I'm a sad, suffering Browns fan right there. You can see me.
Boo.
Guardians fan. Yeah, I got them all covered right there. But yeah, I love them all. Rod.
Well, I mean,
he has something to say. I don't know what it is, but
I was just going to say, being a loyal Cleveland fan,
well, that's
I will give you whatever break in life you want because you've earned it.
You know, I was talking to one of my friends that's a big Seahawks fan, and I said, I'd love to say that I'll experience this moment at some point in my life, but as a Browns fan, I'm sure I won't.
Well, we're going to welcome you
I appreciate
to the Seahawks
I feel like
side.
that segment just turned into like weird facts about Matthew.
But one thing that we all have in common is we have all at some point
Golden Retrievers.
Golden Retrievers.
Yes.
Look at this baby boy.
My dog Sixer there. He's no longer with me, but I rescued him when I was in college. He was a stray dog. I mean, just the cutest dog in the world. I don't know how anybody gave him up, but I rescued him when he was about 5 or 6 months old and lived to be about 14 and a half. So he had a good long life with him. So I need, like I said, I'm in the market for a new one. So I need to find a dog to explore the outdoors with.
Oh,
he's very.
I want another one too.
Well, wow, man, I'm tight money bags guy. I can't afford a second golden.
They're expensive. Dogs are.
Well, just the whole thing is expensive.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I love my dog. Here's a look at our weather satellite radar. And, you know, the East Coast is not just the East Coast, but everybody east of the Rockies. Still the big story of how cold it is. The active precip, there goes the front. Now I'm pushing off the East Coast. Lingering snow showers up in parts of the Northeast, including New England. But that's it. Now we're just dealing with the lingering cold, and it is still cold. Temperature, these are current numbers. 5 in St. Louis, 1 in Des Moines, still below 0 up in Minneapolis. Chicago's at 2. Dallas is still in the 20s. New Orleans is still below freezing, and it's what? Coming up on almost noon there, and it's not up to 32 degrees. You don't see that often. And there's the one spot that escaped it, Florida. It's 82 down in Miami right now. But still double down on checking your flight information because there are still backups being reported because of the aftermath of this storm that did deliver the snow and freezing rain zones that it was expected to. These clouds are coming in tomorrow. They'll give us some rain the back half of the day. It doesn't really show up well on the satellite picture, but there's a little disturbance offshore. And it is kicking some light moisture inland. So far, we've been dry in Portland, and Futurecast is not really picking up that light moisture. It's down to the south, but Newport, US 20 into Albany, could be some light icing from freezing rain down in that area currently. Otherwise, our forecast shows, this is 9 o'clock, shows we might have a trace of rain or a trace of moisture up here in the North Valley, but basically this will be a dry, kind of mostly cloudy to partly cloudy day. Here's that next wave of clouds coming in first thing tomorrow morning. This keeps Portland and Salem dry until 5 o'clock, but I believe there's at least a chance of showers coming in earlier than that tomorrow. Certainly Tuesday overnight, there's one wave of rain. There's some more waves of rain coming in during the day Wednesday. As we get back into most 24-hour windows of time, we'll have at least some measurable precip starting tomorrow night all the way into the weekend. So the first wave of rain is really tomorrow night and Wednesday. This shows that could be a 1/4 of an inch or more in the valley and could be a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch at the coast. If anything, I think these numbers are a little too high, but we'll see. Kind of a cool look at the clouds from the Schnuckwitz Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. And here are the clouds over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha, where we have had frosty reports on the grass. Currently 36 as the temperatures bounced up a little bit. Still freezing in Salem, 28, 25 degrees, but all dry out through the gorge. Valley forecast numbers today getting up into the mid to upper 40s. Light winds away from the gorge. Gorge winds will be east today, 15 to 25, at least this morning. And here's the rain picking up the back half of tomorrow all the way into the weekend. Starting Wednesday, the low will be 40 degrees as we say goodbye to the cold, frosty nights. It is birthday time. All right, Millie starts off our party today from Wilsonville, 5 years old. Happy birthday. Also celebrating today, Kinley is 14, and that's a rooster. Happy birthday to you. And we have CC, who is 31, out there on a beautiful sunny day, it looks like. Happy birthday to you. That's our list. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
Drive times continue to be very light. They never were really all that busy this morning. 18 minutes kitchen from Hillsborough, 21 minutes northbound from Wilsonville. Let's give you a live look right now on the Twilliger curves. You can see the construction barrels over there. That's near the Twilliger on-ramp to northbound I-5. That's always a tough merge there, even when traffic is light. But the I-5 northbound can be a little slow from there up to, let's say, the Markham Bridge. A little slow, but not bad. Over on the west side, there's the Sunset Highway 26 riding the brakes a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo, and Interstate 84, the Banfield, again, a little tight approaching I-5. But the commute this morning has been very, very easy for most of us. 14 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
A reminder, radar showing light precip that could be freezing rain down US 20 along Albany to Newport, but that's on the east flank of the Coast Range into the I-5 corridor, so just keep an eye. Other than that, we're mainly dry, 48 degrees today, and then rain chances finally pick up, and each day is expected to have some rain starting late tomorrow all the way into the weekend.
Drive times have been really easy this morning. There's one of them, 12 minutes getting you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Reminder, the Abernathy Bridge, I-205, closes overnight tonight, 11 to 5 a.m. Tuesday.
And finally this morning, a former stray dog is now Washington State Patrol's latest explosive detection K9. Look at him, reporting for duty there.
Yeah.
This is Greta. An officer found her roaming the city last year.
Yeah, realizing her potential, WSP put her through training, and now she's officially on the job. So congrats to Greta. Very cute, but also ready to work.
I love that. I found her, and now she's, being used for something.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Well,
very
she was
cool.
on vacation. All of a sudden, she's working.
Now
She can look
she's
at
on
that
the
two
clock.
different ways.
Yeah. I'm sure she gets paid with a lot of treats and belly rubs
That's
and all
right,
the things.
as what she deserves.
A reminder that you can watch Sunrise every day live here exclusively on KGW Plus starting at 7. And we have also another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great day.
See you tomorrow.